This evening I would like to start at a point where I guess everybody is aware of, because based upon what's going on, it's impossible not to be aware of it. I'm speaking about the current hoopla about Malcolm X. As you know, that I was very close to Malcolm. As a matter of fact, I very often advise him on international law and society, and one who encouraged him to go to Mecca because I thought he needed to know more about what Islam was. I was called about a week ago to come to the Siegfried Theater, I think that's what it's called, to witness the showing, the first public showing, and to be interviewed on television, which I hate so often. I went and stood there and watched the audience coming in to the performance. I was rather shocked, because most of the people I saw coming would not have given Malcolm a cup of coffee when he was alive. There was Madonna and all of those, and there was some women whose dress was so short that I want to know where the drawers ended and where the dress ended. Malcolm would have liked that. Would I like that enough as to call the army to have them arrested? I refused, after I had gotten there, I refused to be interviewed, and I refused to see the picture, and I will continue refusing to see the picture after I had been told the gist of this whole picture, and after those who had gone to see it, a few friends of mine, told me about it, what was excluded. I decided that that picture would never have the benefit of my eyes. I know that you feel rather funny for me saying that, but then consider that I was close enough to Brother X to bury him the night when the undertakers refused to, the grave diggers refused to put the dirt on the coffin because they said it was too late, and secondly, it was the pouring rain. Brother Smalls, James Smalls, got a few of us together and we took our hands, dug the mud back and buried the casket. That's how close I was to the brother. I saw Malcolm when he first came to the New York area, when we used to hang out by the Braddock Hotel. And there's another Malcolm X that I thought hasn't been spoken of. They spoke of Malcolm of coming, a young fellow with no principles at all. That is a lie. From the time Malcolm came here, he was an avid reader. He had read every book that Joel A. Rogers wrote, and many more. Though he used to be at the Braddock Hotel at 126th Street on 8th Avenue, hanging around, but all the black actors who came to the Apollo Theater hanged out there, and in the Lone Star barber shop right underneath the Braddock. So I think that we need to re-examine ourselves pertaining to Brother Malcolm, but I asked the big question: why does America, white Jewish America, decide to put on a picture spending $18 million about Malcolm X at this time? The reason is to perpetuate a myth that Malcolm X suddenly came back and loved white people after he had gone to Mecca. And I'm asking to find a statement where Malcolm said, after coming back from Mecca, that he had suddenly loved white people, when in fact he was to appear to the United Nations to make a complaint of genocide against the United States. He was poisoned in Egypt and remained in Egypt for 6 months. He was excluded from France and England. All of this, and he's suddenly going to love white people? Well, it might be another Malcolm X that I did not know. But I must tell you that more than 90% of the people who dealt with Malcolm and had to work with him did not show to that joke that they call a picture on Malcolm X. Look around you. Look around and look at the commercialism around it. You can't go anywhere. They even have Malcolm X drawers, Malcolm X toothbrush, Malcolm X toothpicks, Malcolm X everything. And then I ask you, who's making that money? The same person that Dr. Jeffrey spoke of, and I know that you don't want to speak of, but American white Jews. And unless you're willing to talk about it, like Mama said, get off the damn pot. If you ain't going to do it, what you sitting on the pot for? If you're not going to deal with the issue, then shut up. But if you're going to deal with the issue, you have to deal with the cracker called a Jew. Now, they make no difference between a Christian cracker, a Jewish cracker, a Muslim cracker, because a cracker is a cracker is a cracker. But we have to be able to be counted as Malcolm X was. We have to have a position and state it, and don't care who don't like it. It is time that we start pleasing ourselves and not pleasing others. The little skit we just had here about Haiti, and I wish that we had gone into much of the history of Haiti, but time could not spare. But the other day I had an opportunity to go to a university, and they were presenting the history of Haiti. And they started with Toussaint Louverture. I realized how much we do not know about our own selves. Because when you saw the play here, the little skit of the play of Haiti, you must have said, oh, I'm seeing a play of those people in Haiti. I didn't see it for the few minutes as the people in Haiti. I was seeing a play of myself. Why? Every one of you in here are as the result of Haiti. Your ancestors came to the Caribbean. The first place they came was to Haiti. Haiti was then called Hispaniola. It is there that the Roman Catholic Church, and some of you going there tomorrow, with the behest of Pope Martin V and Bishop Las Casas, were the ones who took Africans, freemen, out of Africa, brought them and made slaves of them. You see, there's a quite different thing that we have to look at. They did not bring slaves from Africa. They brought free people and enslaved them. A whole different ball game. The first set of people who were brought, Africans who were brought, was not even from the continent. They were Africans living in Spain and what is today Portugal and southern France as conquerors, otherwise called Moors. Those Moors, after they had lost power to the Christians, sorry Christians, all you Christians, sorry, but you got to tell it like it is. I got to talk about how you became Christians through slavery. I know you can't get away from it, but then you're late. Because you see, you're worshiping the wrong Christ. Sorry about that. You don't need to worship Jesus. That's only 1992 years ago. You need to worship the Jesus before Christ. You need to be worshiping Osiris, Isis, and their son Horus, because that's where the Romans stole it from. I'm not talking about Michelangelo's picture on your wall. That's Michelangelo's cousin you're looking at. I'm talking about where the story started. When you come to Abydos in Egypt, you will see the true Jesus to worship 4,100 years before the one of Mary's little boy. Let's move from there, because really you're getting real mad now. And I wanted to get you mad. Maybe you will come to the truth one of these days. Some of you that going to Israel, you may come over to Egypt and see something before there were Abraham, much less Israel. But that, I got you mad enough, and the next time I'll deal with this aspect. Coming back to Haiti, I noticed that they referred to a particular God, and it may have passed over your head because you no longer remember your God. Since Rome told you you had one, France told you you had one, England told you you had one, and see, look at yourself. You're Roman Catholic because the French dominated you. Oh, the Portuguese. You're Church of England because the English had you. You're Lutheran and Moravian because the German and the Danish had you. Now name the others. And you're proud of it. You're just as proud as your name is Mukshingtijhakti, and the next name is Wickenberg. Like the mayor we got Mayor, what's his last name? Dinkenstein. Dinkenstein and Congressman Rangelberger. I guess those brothers forgot the last yarmulke when they went to... Rangel lives in the same building I live when I'm in the States, and the other day he came along and I said, "Hello, Mr. Rangelstein." And he said, "Ben, what are you talking about?" I said, "Oh, you returned." I thought he was the mayor of, no, the mayor was of, what up place name? Tel Aviv, and he was, you know how it is. But anyhow, you would have understand that Toussaint Louverture is partly responsible for the condition in Haiti today. If they had listened to Neg Yosef, Macandal, and Buckman, they would not have been in the trouble that the Polish responsible Negro, Toussaint, who could not do without the French, who had to go to France to try to tell one cracker how we are not going to mistreat you. Our problem, our major problem is that we can't kill ourselves, yes, but we can't kill the enemy. We are consistently saying that the Europeans is untouchable. I am hoping that the PSC, not the ANC, notice I say PAC, the Pan-African Congress in Africa, I am hoping that soon we will have the result from them. One cracker, one bullet. That's the only negotiation. It's nonsense. For you worrying about apartheid, why do you worry about that damn nonsense for? Nobody should worry about apartheid. Apartheid is not the issue. The issue is the land. If you take your land, then you control anything and there won't be no apartheid. If you take the ANC and Mandela, you would take the biggest sellout that ever been in man. How the hell are you going to tell me, I have a war with you? You tell me, lay my arm down. I lay down the arms and I come to speak to you with no arms. Huh? I think we need, that's why I said the black woman is so great. There's nothing wrong with you, brothers. You brothers got your point, but we could leave you alone because you all ain't doing a damn thing. I was surprised that Winnie allowed that, what I could guess to call him a man, but I allow him to come out of jail. She should have put him in a separate jail when he came out, because he didn't know a damn thing. Just look at when Mandela came. Who did he associate with? He associated, look at the people. Halle Berry, Jesse Jackson, I could never get the Jackson correct. Men that is always beg on the knee, begging for forgiveness from Jews. And go down the line and see what Mandela is. It's funny that all of you worry about Mandela, but there's a man spent 11 months more in jail, the head of the PSC, than Mandela, and nobody worried about it, and died 2 weeks after he came out of jail. Why took these positions, the head of the PSC, why I took these positions and start this way, rather than in the history, because many people think that I am only interested in things gone by. I'm interested in that because I need to know my past to know on what ground I stand now. Many people think that I am only interested in things gone by. I'm interested in that because I need to know my past to know on what ground I stand now, so that I could direct my attention to the future. Quite to the contrary, I fought by mistake for the United States. I was in Puerto Rico, the place where my mother was born, and I was going to school there at the time when a certain man sent me a letter saying, "Greetings, your country wants you." I was stupid enough to believe I had a country that wanted me. I really believe it. So I ran down to the draft board, Caitituan in Puerto Rico, and went so my country could have me. Only to find that my country had allowed trade with Italy, gave Italy aid, but put an embargo against Ethiopia, the land of my father. It was too late to come out the service, but I said I wasn't going to die for any cracker. And so I found a way to survive by taking garlic, inserted it into my behind, and it would give me high fever. So I had high fever throughout the whole war. Just let you know. The reason for this is that I understand that I'm hurting many of you who are in the legions, foreign legions and the American legions, and other legions that you couldn't sit in the front, you had to sit behind the columns at one time. But, you know, as long as the crackers say, okay, now, it's time to come in. It's the other day I was reading where the Mormons had a conversation with Jesus. Jesus came back the other day and spoke with the Mormons, and then tell the Mormons, okay, now it's good to let the black folks in, you know, the ones that was cursed by Noah, you know, how the reason how you got black. Everybody was white, because the other day I heard the minister said, why are there people protesting? We're going to be white when we go to heaven anyhow. Everybody going to turn back white. So I know I wasn't going to heaven. Because if anything I want, the worst thing they could do to me, I'm mad because my bones are white. I told one of my grandchild the other day, why are you behaving so bad? Why you got to be white? I know you don't do that. You said that your child is the black sheep of the family. My children, all of them, black sheep of the family. Their father black, their mama black. What kind of sheep they gonna be but black sheep? It's when I got a white sheep in the family that not upset me no end. But the struggle that my good brother was just speaking about is not just in America. The struggle by African people are equally in the country. The continent, rather. When Brother Jeffries was catching hell in New York, I was catching the same thing in Egypt and more, to the point where El Shad, a little newspaper, asked that I be not only jailed, but I be tried for treason and hanged. It might have been a pleasant thing for them, but not for me. Why? Because of words. Because our pen. Because I refuse to capitulate to Europeans of any sort. This is a way of life, and I think that our problem is stagnated because we are so concerned with promoting our latest cars, our latest boat in the basin, our latest condominium, and then we come to Sinotop, let's say, and we make a little contribution, and we send the doctor and Betty out there and let they get their head smashed in. But that isn't going to do